For example, a vulnerable woman can have a small tool to help defend herself from a violent attack. I think that we should absolutely permit that.
Legalizing pepper spray for victims of race and hate-motivated violence. The UCP government wants this in Alberta to help combat the ongoing trend of these attacks, many against women of color. Minister of Justice Casey Madu asking the federal government in an open letter Wednesday, the Premier backing him up.
Madu is absolutely right to say that vulnerable people should be able to protect themselves from random assailants.
It ended up seeing that we were trying to find ways to kind of work around the actual problem.
Courtney Walcott actively works to end systemic racism in Calgary. He says this approach fights fire with fire and doesn't get to the root of the problem.
I struggle with it because I look at the advocacy that's coming down from the highest orders of our own government within this province, and that advocacy is not built to address the root causes of gender violence, but instead to provide people another weapon to use in those scenarios.
The letter mentions an uptick in drug-fueled attacks, but the UCP has been widely criticized for its handling of supervised consumption sites like this one behind me and putting more dollars into rehabilitation.
So we need to kind of work our way back toward the basics of harm reduction. It's how do we help people and vulnerable people before they are in a position to be subject to such violence.
Have we thought through the consequences of the misuse of pepper spray for the person who uses it? In terms of they misuse it they use it in the wrong situation. They jump the gun. They're spraying people when they shouldn't be spraying people. Have you consulted with law enforcement community in Alberta?
The head of the Edmonton Police Association says there are concerns that if more people are carrying pepper spray, it could cause more incidents and could even be used on police officers. Walcott says this letter misses the point in fighting hate in our province,
which is attention to the people who are actually committing the crime rather than people trying to arm victims of said crime.
In Calgary, Taylor Braat, City News.